Finding a good parking spot, or even a somewhat decent one, can be akin to Mission Impossible or, depending on where you live or work, the bane of your existence. So you might be able to understand the motivation behind the reasons some of the people you'll read about here shelled out big bucks to own prime parking spaces. It means a lot to not have to worry about finding a spot in a crowded city, not having to fret about having your car towed or even vandalized, and not to mention forgetting about the constant fear of those evil parking enforcement officers. Imagine all of those headaches instantly eliminated for the price of a very hefty real estate transaction. Number 10. $1 million for the ultimate spot. Well, what exactly can you expect from a parking spot where the shower water in the home is pumped full of aloe and vitamin C? 66 East 11th Street is a private garage which naturally costs 6 times more than the national average price of the median single-family American home. Remember now, we're just talking about the parking space. It's the ultimate luxury spot for someone who wants privacy. Paparazzi can eat their heart out once the driver has pulled into the 12 feet wide, 23 feet long and more than 15 feet high parking space. Seeing as how the parking space leads to an 8,000 square feet luxury condo full of the finest amenities, we're pretty sure the driver can't wait to get out of the parking spot. Number 9. $1 million for 200 SQ. FT. In 2014, a 10-unit luxury condo New York City's Soho district had exclusive listings for 200 square feet lots under the building. Reportedly, each space was listed for a whopping $1 million. The lots are located at 42 Crosby Street in Manhattan and come with a charging station. In 2014, the price was about 4 times the price of the median American home sales price. Ouch. Surprise, surprise, we weren't able to find out if anyone actually parted with that kind of money for a parking spot. Number 8. $1 million for 2 supercars. Here's a bit of an unusual one. Approximately 2 years before the Soho listing above, in a Manhattan Union Square neighborhood, a private garage was asking $1 million for a 12 by 23 feet spot. The spot was feet high, which would have allowed the car owner to store 2 supercars at the same time if an elevator lift was put to use. No word on if there were any takers on the unique car storage unit, but we think not, because we have an idea that if there were, we would have heard about it or seen something about it. It's kind of a shame. Number 7. 7-figure celeb spot. Reportedly, New York City has seen too many million-dollar parking spaces come and go to count. The first is said to have been in 2012 and was in the very same downtown condo complex that Leonardo DiCaprio lives in, one of the celebrated actor's many homes, of course. Prices for parking spaces have exploded since NYC's housing boom has continued to rise and NYC residents have increased their love of automobiles. Number 6. $765,000 for 88 SQ. FT. Again, over in Hong Kong, a single parking space boasting a solid 88 square foot of car coziness sold for $765,000 US, which translates to approximately $6 million for the resident in Ho Man Tin who parks his or her vehicle in the second-level housing estate, which is said to be owned by Sun Hung Kai Properties. This price would allow residents to purchase a 3-bedroom flat in a private housing estate. But alas, parking spaces are hard to come by. They can also be rented out if the owner isn't using them, so there is income potential. Number 5. $660,000 for 188 SQ. FT. Quan Wai Ming, a construction boss based in Hong Kong, paid the US equivalent of $660,000 to purchase a parking spot what South China's Morning Post newspaper is calling the world's most pricey car parking spot. Obviously, they hadn't heard about the parking spots above. The 188 square feet lot is on the first floor of Wai Ming's luxury apartment complex. His parking spot is considered the most coveted in the whole building because it is 40% larger than the average parking space. Imagine the luxury of opening your doors at ease. In fact, Wai Ming owns 2 other, smaller parking spots in the very same building. Number 4. $619,000 for 135 SQ. FT. Word on the underground parking structure street is that before Wai Ming landed the record for purchasing the world's most expensive parking space, an unnamed Hong Kong citizen was the previous record holder. The mainland Chinese resident paid $619,000 for a 135-square-foot parking space in the city's mid-level area. The exact location is not known, just as the identity of the owner. Though the price of the space and the square footage is smaller than Wai Ming's, you've got to admit, it's still not bad for the runner-up in China. Number 3, $560,000 for God Bless America. It was 2013 when an auction opened up in Boston. Bidding began quickly and fiercely, but not for a priceless painting or a precious antique, not even for a yacht or a home, but a pair of parking posts in Boston's Back Bay neighborhood. The two back-to-back spots sold for $560,000, which is nearly twice the median sales price of a nice home in Massachusetts at the time of the sale. Now, you might be able to understand which the real estate broker was reportedly heard to have said, "God bless America," when the auction was over. Number 2, $430,000 flipped for $760,000. In September of 2017, a husband and wife in the Kowloon district of Hong Kong decided to purchase a parking spot in the ultra-swanky development of Ultima. The couple paid $430,000 for the space, and in the true trendy spirit of flipping, this couple flipped their space for a sweet selling price of $760,000 when they sold it to another couple. It isn't clear what exactly caused the profit to skyrocket for this Tarek and Christina El Moussa of Hong Kong parking spaces, but we're certainly happy for their good fortune. Number 1, $300,000 for full-time care. Recently, a neighborhood in Brooklyn called Park Slope offered a parking space for $300,000. While there is no official word for what the space actually sold for, there was a spot in the same exact parking garage that went on sale for $280,000 just months before the one for $300,000 was listed. It should be noted that to sweeten the pot, included in the price is a team of full-time attendants to look after and essentially babysit your precious car while you're apart. Not too shabby.